received anything from them, so we can kind of strike that one at this time.
Well, they have till the 30th.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody has till the 30th, but they actually didn't even use their money for this year.
Okay.
We still have it in our budget, so I've talked to them a few times, but they really have nobody that's willing to step up to take it over.
Plus, their participation is way down.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
a,
another
it's just
thing
a
they said.
cultural issue
Yep.
anymore.
Promising futures. Doug, have you heard anything from them?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's right
Oh,
here.
I'm sorry.
Wake up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah.
You know, we gave you 3 seconds. What do you want?
Your 3 minutes are up.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
I'm Terry Park with Promising Futures. I'm here to present a mid-year report on the grant we received and then for our request for 2014 funds. I'd like to thank you for your continued support of the Clay Township residents who are participants of the programs and services. And I just have some highlights for the mid-year report about our different programs that our funds were able to serve. We offer parenting classes. We offer them around the community and including St. Vincent Carmel. One of the dads from Carmel who completed the classes stated that the most important thing that he learned was the difference between punishment and discipline, which I think is a very important concept of parenting. And on his evaluation, he wrote that he loved the class. For our pregnant parenting teen program, we had 2 Carmel youth who were served in our community-based program. A father who participated with his girlfriend, which is a first for us. We usually have a mom who might bring in the dad, but this was the dad who was our primary client. Unfortunately, this program closed March 28th due to lack of federal funding, but we have been able to serve Carmel residents up until then. We have for our supervised visitation program, there were 5 residents who participated in the program so far this year. One of those families was referred by DCS. 2 were private pay clients. One of the families has progressed to the point that they receive intermittent supervised visits, which means it's the less supervised and it's on the step towards where they won't have to have supervised visits at all. With our counseling program, of the 6 children from Carmel, they all remained in schools. None of them had family members who were arrested, and all the participants made progress, which exceeds our goal of 85% of families making progress in our counseling program. A participant with our anger management program has been an active, a 15-year-old was an active participant, is an active participant. He was referred by probation and he'll complete the class in July. Our Buckle Down program has been renamed in the last year our Choose to Live program. Marty Cagney presented the program to Carmel. She spoke with 1,000 students. She's a mom who lost her son due to alcohol, and she was able to talk to students about the importance of making good decisions and some of the effects that decisions that aren't as good can have on you. And in addition to that, 324 students signed the contract that states that they'll use a seatbelt and they'll make good decisions and avoid unsafe driving. We also have our Teen Leaders program. We promote leadership in teens. We have 4 teen leaders currently who live in Clay Township. Their summer project is they are going to Sheridan. They have a Lunch Buddies program that is for kids. Initially, it's for kids who participate in the free or reduced lunch program, although they'll serve anybody who goes, and they provide activities to the kids who go there. For the 2014, we are requesting $17,000. $5,000 of that will go to the Choose to Live program, and $12,000 will help support our anger management program, counseling, our parenting classes, supervised visitation, and support our teen leaders program. We plan to serve 4,500 individuals in our Choose to Live program and 54 in our other programs. Promising Futures continues to expand our services so that we can continue to meet the needs and demands of the community.
Time.
That's right on time. Any questions?
Do you receive funding from other groups than us?
Yes.
And who are they?
St. Vincent's provides small grants to us, and I apologize. I know that there are several. I'm the director of programs, so I help promote all the programs, but I don't apply specifically for the grants. I know we have St. Vincent's, and then there's some individuals who support us. We have individual donors, and then there are other groups. I'm trying to remember.
Well, I guess what I'm
list.
trying to, when we give money, we want it to be for people in Clay Township.
Sure.
And are any of our funds going to fund something for someone from another area?
Well, we provide, what we do is provide the funds that we receive from you go towards the programs and the individuals who live in Clay Township.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Hamilton County Alliance.
My name is Tim Monger. I am the president and CEO of the Hamilton County Alliance. I have been on the job for almost 90 days. Really new to the position. I'd like to thank the board for your past support of $2,000 and for your future consideration. One of the things that we have done with those dollars is to purchase data. One of the things that we're responsible for here in Hamilton County is marketing this county to companies and also site consultants outside of the state of Indiana. And one of the purposes to bring additional operations to Hamilton County and the creation of jobs. So that's really our focus. But it does take information. It does take purchasing data so that we can present Hamilton County and Clay Township in the best light. And it's something that's very important to the corporations to understand the community that they're considering, as well as the site consultants who represent those corporations. So that's really what we've used the dollars for from Clay Township is to be able to respond very quickly and with accurate data. But that's purchasing the data to help us do that.
What's your request for this year?
Our request for this year would be $2,000.
How big an operation is Hamilton County Alliance? How many people are?
Yeah, we're looking at it.
You're looking at it.
So it goes a
Yeah,
long way.
it's an army of one.
Very good.
And you're doing this for the whole county, and
Yes.
you're receiving funding from other parts of the county.
Yes, we are. Yeah, we're receiving dollars from county government as well as the municipalities and towns within Hamilton County, as well as the private sector has been supportive as well.
And the chamber?
Yes, the chambers have been supportive as well. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hamilton County Leadership Academy.
Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to come before you again and give you an update on our 2013 grant and make a request for 2014. I'm Jill Doyle, the Executive Director of the Hamilton County Leadership Academy, and I have Paul Hensel with me as our board president and Josh Blackmore, who also sits on our executive committee. HCLA just graduated our 22nd class. We've been around since 1991 and now have over 540 alumni, which couldn't happen without the support of organizations like yours. Last year, we requested assistance to build a new website and database for the organization, and you provided $2,500 towards that project. We're very excited that that's going to launch just after July 1st. We're kind of in our final stages of testing and getting ready to kind of roll out our marketing plan for that, and it should launch sometime in July. And I've included some screen captures of what the new site will look like. A couple of things to point out is you'll see that Clay Township is listed as one of our featured sponsors at the bottom, and your seal is a link back to your website. We'll do that throughout the year for you and other donors and sponsors for our program. And there's also our calendar of events, news, and volunteer opportunities that are available with other nonprofits in the community will be on our homepage, which is new for us, and we hope that that will drive a lot of traffic to our site and be able to answer questions for our visitors quickly. And there's other snapshots on there that you can look at. Again, this is a huge project for us. We've needed a new database since I started 3 years ago. We've needed a new website since I started 3 years ago, and the database is something totally new for us. So it will be very good for the organization. So now that we've kind of got that going, our request for 2014 plays right into this, and it is to fund a project to help us populate and mine that database. Gathering information about our alumni, the volunteer activities that they take part in, what events they attend of ours, and their donations to the organization will help us better tell our story and show our importance and impact in the community. We know we have a lot of alumni serving on boards throughout Clay Township, Carmel, and the county, but they don't tell us. They're humble people. They don't tell us what they're doing, so we don't have a good way to track and show the community really how our alumni are impacting the rest of the community. So we hope that gathering this data will really help us. Measuring community impact is a question that all organizations like ours are asking across the country, so it's not unique to us, but we do need to find ways to answer those questions because people like you fund us, and we need to show that we're making an impact and that our graduates are helping to make good decisions on the boards that they're serving on. The request is for $5,000 to fund this project, which would market our new website and its features, especially something called the alumni profile that we want all of our alumni to fill out, collect information, and then mine the database for new information so that we can report on that.
Time, Jill.
Okay,
Sorry.
no problem.
Jill, I think you know I'm a graduate
Right.
of the Leadership Academy. My concern has always been the projects that the class has done, and then they go on the shelf. Are any of those being dusted off to be redone? I think some of them were really excellent, but
Yeah.
you know, there's no more
Forward
involvement
momentum.
after you graduate.
Right. Well, I'm glad that Terry mentioned supervised visitation because that's a program that 3 different teams worked on in HCLA in the 90s and early 2000s, and then all the stars aligned, and it's an impactful program in the community that started, I think, with HCLA alumni. So I agree 100% about the projects. We've done over 90 projects. I would say this year we have 3 solid projects that the teams want to move forward. And I'll admit that I don't know that HCLA in the past did our job in trying to move those projects forward because part of the goal of the projects is for everyone to kind of have ownership in something, and so we weren't sure we wanted to push somebody else's idea on another group. But we've heard from people like you and others that there's many projects that have merit that if we could push them forward and get another group to work on, that they could actually make an impact in the community. So I think we have 3 solid projects. We're talking amongst our board on how we're going to let those teams come back and present to the new class, and hopefully the new class will take those on, and then we'll keep moving projects forward like that. I think there's also 1 or 2 from last year that we'll ask to come back because they had a lot of support in the community. And it really comes down to, for a lot of the projects, funding. Getting them to land in an organization that can take it on possibly and fund it. And so our challenge is to figure out how to help move those forward and get them to the right place. But I do agree with you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Paul? No, thank you
Okay,
very
thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Janice?
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Debbie Laird, and I'm the Vice President of Development and Transportation for Janus Developmental Services in Noblesville. First, I'd like to thank Clay Township for your previous support that has enabled the staff of Janus to stay focused on our mission statement, which is to provide individuals with disabilities the opportunity to participate and contribute within the community. Thanks to your previous financial support, 28 residents living in Clay Township have participated in the following Janus programs. The Community Employment Program, which partnered with 29 area employers in securing jobs for those with disabilities. The Work Experience Program, which contracted with 23 businesses to supply piece or assembly work for individuals with disabilities. Our Capabilities Cafe at the Hamilton County Judicial Building provides real-life, real employment for those with disabilities and offered the opportunity to serve over 17,000 guests last year. The Doorways program features 11 different activities, and some of those activities include gardening, music, fitness, and community service. Last year, 288 hours were donated to the community as a result of this service project. Hamilton County Express operates a fleet of 18 vehicles, which provided 9,850 trips for just Clay Township residents this past fiscal year. That is an increase of 5.7% from last year. Riders depend on our transportation services to access essential places like medical, dental, and therapy appointments. They utilize Hamilton County Express to get to and from jobs, educational programs, libraries, as well as retail and grocery stores. The skills that individuals gain greatly enhance their ability to live and work successfully in the community. And then when that happens, everyone benefits. Janus Developmental Services is requesting $30,000 from Clay Township for 2014 for these same programs that I just discussed. Clay Township has always embraced and supported our efforts, and we are grateful. Thank you.
You said you served 28, was it children from Hamilton County? I mean, from Clay Township?
Residents.
Just individuals with disabilities.
But that's not, but your money is going, but we're also funding these 9,850 trips, which is amazing as well.
A portion of that,
Okay.
yes.
So it's not just for those 28 people, the 30,000, it's for all of them.
Correct, correct.
How many, you have 18 buses in your fleet now, did you
Correct.
say?
Mm-hmm.
I know that continues to grow, and part of the money that others have given you over the past, you add to your fleet. So that need is climbing and climbing and climbing.
It is.
More people involved, and
We do. We keep we call a denial list of just names of people that we are not able to serve because we're full.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Meals on Wheels?
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go a little higher. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me a couple of minutes up here to share a little bit about Meals on Wheels of Hamilton County. I'm Beth Gelhausen. I've been the executive director for about 18 months. Took over the organization at a time I think that is critical for our community. We're seeing such a change in our demographics. I know nothing new for you all, but certainly seeing more folks moving into Hamilton County to be around family, grandchildren. Certainly a lot of them are younger retirees, but we're also dealing with, I think the number is something like 10,000 people a day are turning 65 around the country. Well, we're feeling the impact here. So your past support, which I know you've been supportive a number of years, and we're so very grateful because your dollars are specifically directed towards the one program, the one and only program we have, which is delivering meals to our folks who are seniors, disabled, or homebound for whatever reason, physically, mentally, are not able to prepare their own meals. Our service is really critical in helping them stay in their homes and stay independent for as long as possible. This is certainly a direct impact for our communities. We serve all of Hamilton County, but specifically speaking to Clay Township, it's hard for me to quantify the actual savings that we have to the community here just because of Medicaid and Medicare costs and so forth. But we know folks staying in their homes, even if they're getting home health care, and paying for our services are saving so much more money than if they had to go into a facility. This current year, we've already served 74 Clay Township residents. That's just about a 5% increase over all of last year. And the funding, the $30,000 that you have given us this past year, and that I'm requesting again this year, is helping to fully serve the Carmel Clay community. When I say fully, I mean not just our sponsor senior program, which is our program. We don't turn anyone away if they are unable to pay. While 60% of the people we serve fully pay for their meals, the remainder either are on our sponsor senior program or paid through the Central Indiana Council on Aging. So the funds that you give us help not only to coordinate delivery of meals and all of the direct service and activities involved in providing that direct service, but the meal program as well. So through these dollars, we're helping people eat at least one nutritious meal a day, hot meal a day, coming out of Carmel St. Vincent's. That's 4 daily routes. We're using approximately 20 volunteers a week. And we're going to certainly all 4 corners of the Clay Township community. So I respectfully request that you consider helping us out again this year. As I said, the money is going directly to the service of providing the meals for our population that isn't able to do so on their own.
Beth, oh, bingo, right on the dot. You receive money from other areas too in Hamilton County, don't you? You
Yes.
serve all of Hamilton County.
Yes, we do receive a bit of money. I will share with you, township money is the only government money we get, with the exception of, for the first time this year, we've gotten the community block grant money, about $5,400 to help us. As you may or may not have recognized, we have a whole new branding, so we're really working on marketing efforts this year, and those funds are specifically to help us reach out and raise awareness for what we're doing. So with that exception, and that won't be, I'm sure, ongoing, we're just not seeing any real government money, if you will, besides what the townships are doing for us.
Do you find that it is increasing, a need is increasing in this area?
It is increasing, yet our numbers, quite frankly, I'll just be perfectly candid, I think the number of people we're serving is deplorable for this county. But what I'm seeing is, and what I am grateful for, that people don't seem to realize, is we are also able to serve on a short-term basis. So our folks who are regularly pretty independent are depending upon us while they're recovering from hip replacement or something that otherwise would not have them home and immobile. So we are certainly seeing that increase, and we want to. Again, anything that we can do to help people recover more quickly and get back to their a healthy routine, again, is going to be of service in the long run. So we're seeing that, yeah.
Are you still doing the dog food?
We do offer dog food. When we enroll someone, we ask them, everyone is told about it up front. And yes, and we're working very closely with the Humane Society. It's a long story, I won't get into it tonight, but we do have folks that donate the food directly to us, and then we work with the Humane Society to get it from them as well.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
Prevail.
Good evening, and I'll start out by saying thank you for your past support for Prevail. I am Susan Ferguson. I'm the new executive director, so I heard the other gentleman say he's been there about 90 days, and I'm even less than that. So I am new to Prevail, but not new to the issues that we deal with. So we want to thank you for your past support and what we've been able to do with Clay Township and the services that we've provided. So Prevail provides services for victims of crime, and that can be any crime, but because of the nature of victims of crime in this area, that tends to be the majority of our services are provided for victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. In Clay Township, so far this year, in our first 6 months, we've seen over 200 residents from Clay Township and the services that we've provided directly because they're victims of crime. In addition to that, we've seen about 1,300 students in our prevention programs, which is called Safe Dates, that's provided at the local middle schools. So we are providing services to Clay Township residents, and it's important to point out that international numbers show that about 1 in 3 women are victims of domestic or sexual violence in their lifetime. So certainly this is a necessary service. Those numbers aren't any different in Clay Township than they are anywhere in the country. So what we provide with this money, and we have received $30,000 in the past, and we're asking for $30,000 again next year. And we provide with that 24-hour crisis line and on-site crisis response. So if there is somebody that shows up in a hospital as a result of sexual assault or domestic violence, that we would meet them in the hospitals and provide services right away. We also are an entry point for protective orders in Hamilton County. So if anybody from Clay Township is seeking a protective order and goes to the court, they're referred to Prevail to be assessed for that and provided the information that they need in order to proceed with that process. We do safety planning, or try to do safety planning with all of the victims that we see to ensure that they don't continue to be at risk. And then, of course, information and referral and our partnerships with the community are a huge part of what we do as well. So we refer people to services that they might need in order to meet all the other needs that they're working with. We do provide transportation to shelter if that's what somebody is needing, especially for victims of domestic violence. We also provide employment services. We have an employment coordinator on staff who helps with services. So because of a lot of times with domestic violence, part of that dynamic is financial control and the disempowerment of their economic needs. So we try to help them with those services so that they can go on and live self-sufficient, nonviolent lifestyles. We also provide advocacy and support during court hearings. And then in addition, all the community education and training that we do. So we're available to do that with service groups and all kinds of other agencies within Clay Township so that we can make sure that education is the key to ending the cycle of violence that goes on. So that's another important part of what we do. So thank you very much.
Susan, on here you serve 480 Clay Township residents, but you said you also service all the middle school, so it's a lot more than that?
Right, the 480 in the request is actually a year, what we anticipate serving in 2014.
Okay.
And those are direct services. So the people that show up at Prevail either participate in groups or individual services, those kinds of things. The 1,300 is a prevention program, so those aren't necessarily victims of crime, but people we're helping to become victims of crime.
And you mentioned a couple statistics. One was 1 in 3 women, but you service men as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of our services are available to any demographic. Obviously, domestic violence and sexual assault are more often, victims are women than men, but yes, absolutely, we serve all genders.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Crime Live?
Thank you.
Is there?
Thank you.
Just Andy, you dropped something.
Oh, gosh.
If you like stars.
Oh, brother.
My name is Sandy Stewart. I'm Executive Director of Prime Life Enrichment and very, very grateful for the many years of support we have received from Clay Township. For 2013, we received a grant of $30,000 and we are requesting the same amount for 2014. The way we use your funds are, this past fiscal year, we provided 100,877 units of service to Clay Township residents. That was at a total cost to the agency of $529,441 or $5.25 per unit for the agency, 29 cents for Clay Township. And a unit of service could be one request for information and referral to an appropriate source. It could be an hour of in-home assistance, which could include free respite care for a full-time caregiver. It could be an hour of activity at the center, which can include hot meals, physical activities, educational and social. Could be an hour with a social worker. Could be an hour of bereavement or caregiver support. So the money is well used. I hope you think that 29 cents an hour is a good investment for Clay Township. We will be using it in the same way in the coming year if we're using it this year. I've given you a year-to-date report and we're on track for pretty much the same number and the same amount of service for this year. And I'm trying to get through my, save time in my 3 minutes for a love story. On the cover of the annual report, this is the 11-12 annual report, is a picture of a couple and their story is here. And I want to just briefly describe that because it tells a lot about our agency and what we do and why we do it. Bev and Bill were age 81.